Ah, sunlight. It's useful for so many things. Life, energy, a running gag for this guy, but it also has its unfortunate side effects, like humidity, drought, and the fact that it's going to explode, destroying our entire solar system. So we'll call it even. The astute observer will notice that this isn't really a video game, the sun that I speak of. No, it's in fact an entity. So why would I start with that? Firstly, don't interrupt me when I'm speaking. And secondly, the sunlight directly relates to the game we're going to talk about this month. Boktai, the sun is in your hand, metaphorically speaking, because, literally it would be very, very painful and heavy. Before we get to the actual meat of the game, I want to talk about the production that went into this. Firstly, it's published by Hideo Kojima, who most of you will know as the big brain behind the Metal Gear franchise. Secondly, it uses a unique and interesting feature not seen before or since in any video game. And without giving away the whole review, let me remind you, interesting is a neutral term. Hitler was interesting. The game cartridge itself has a sensor on the outside of the cartridge that detects sunlight and changes certain aspects of the game as you play it. And other aspects of the game change depending on how much sunlight is hitting the sensor, like how charged your weapon is or how much the plant life is moving around. Honestly, it's really cool, and I have to respect them. No one had done anything like this. It made their game stand out and be original. There's just one tiny problem with that idea.
He's stupid. It's the most stupid theory I ever heard.
Yes, it turns out having a game in which the main component is a variable you can't control makes for a really obnoxious game. Due to a string of bad luck, I had things like school and work on days that were nice and bright and sunny, and days I had off just happened to be rainy and cloudy, thus making the game unplayable. Yes, anyone wanting to play this game at night or inside of a building is out of luck. Got an important flight to catch? Hope you brought anything other than Boktai, otherwise you're gonna be really bored. Tough day at school, need to unwind, but it's already 8 o'clock at night. Tough crap, better wait till 7 a.m. tomorrow. Have the day off? Great, you get to play the game. Better hope you stay in a spot that has consistent sunlight and not have to move every 20 minutes because of shadows and the like. Hey, finally you're outside in a nice sunny area with no responsibilities or chores stopping you from playing Boktai. Best get right to it. What's that? The screen glare from the sun is making it impossible to see. Oh well, if only there was some sort of structure you could play video games in that prevented sunlight from directly hitting the thing you're looking at. The point I'm trying to make is this is a terrible idea that was never recreated for a reason. I didn't even get to play the game, again due to bad luck and poor timing. Normally, I'd end the review right here, not having played the game at all, but fortunately, the internet exists, and I was able to download a ROM of this game, so let's take a look at that instead. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that when I was going over why this is a terrible mechanic. Okay, even if this game was playable, I'd already be regretting it. Let's take a look at some of the options, just to see what we're in for. Alright, solar sensor setting. Let's see what happens. Okay, I wasn't really sure what I was expecting, but, it seems about right. Let's look at explanations instead, just so we can have a firm grasp on how it would be played if it were made competently. Well, any hope of hacking the system with a decent light bulb is out the window, apparently. It doesn't work with artificial light. Great. Great! The sensor is fragile, so even if you were in the right conditions, you might have already fucked it up just getting it home. That's right, you can't even get it dirty. The game, which is making you play it outside, where all of the dirt is, you can't get it dirty. At no point did they stop and go, maybe this is a terrible idea. The sun's rays grow weaker towards evening. Yes, they do. So tough crap, ain't no light at night. We needed a tip for this. They had to point out that there ain't no light at night. Bravo, Boktai team. Bravo. So, in defense of this game, you don't 100% need the light to make it work. It's just far more difficult if you don't have it. Because it's Hideo Kojima, if you don't have the key element, it becomes near impossible. Or, as the creators themselves like to say, on your own. Yeah, I know. You don't need to tell me that. Yeah, I don't know what this was even trying to get across with this little tip of information, so let's pretend they never said it. Hey Token, how come the Boktai franchise is the only one to ever use a solar sensor? Lord alone knows. I would sure love more games that require me to check the forecast to make sure I can play it. One reason, game. Give me one reason why this was a good idea. Okay? You have covered all the things I forgot earlier in the video. So let's give me a good thing about this sensor, alright? One reason why it would help playing a game. You know what? Fine. I've harped on the game enough. Let's see if it can stand up on its own merits. Let's start a new game. The default name is Django, which is actually really effing cool. So, let's keep it! It also has you pick your time zone, which, if I had to hazard a guess, I'd say is so it knows what hemisphere it's in. Alright, that all looks good. And you know, this game's gotten some pretty good reviews, so I'm actually really interested to see what this game has in store. Redeem yourself, Boktai! Make me amused.
In a place not too far from here and now, the end of the world approaches. The undead appear.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out last week's Lazy Indie Sunday, in which I talk about diseases and try and educate you on how to protect yourselves from them. Thank you so much for watching. I've been Tokenlad. Please hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed, and I will see you around. Bye-bye.